Hi all, welcome to lecture 2 of module 2 in database management system. Today we are going to discuss on the topic relational integrity constraint. Okay, so in the last video we have started with the introduction of relational model. In that we have seen what is a relation. A relation is nothing but table. Then we talked about attribute in a relation. Attribute is nothing but a columns. Okay, columns. Then we have talked about tuples or tuples. Tuples are nothing but rows. Okay, rows or records in a column. Records in a relation. Then we talked about schema, how to write the schema. Then we also discussed about the state of a relation or a relation state. All those concepts we have discussed in the previous session. So today we are going to see about the relational integrity constraint. So relational integrity constraint means the various constraints or various conditions that is existing on a particular relation or a relations. Okay, a single relation or a combination of relations. Clear? So that is called a relational integrity constraint. Okay, a condition that is existing or that is prevailing in a particular relation or a relations. Clear? That is called a relational integrity constraint. So constraints are condition that must hold on all valid relation states. Okay, so conditions that hold on many relations or a relation state or tables. Okay, so there are three main types of constraints in relational model. What are they? We are going to discuss about the three main constraints in a relational model. The first one is key constraint, second one is entity integrity constraint, and the third one is referential integrity constraint. Okay, so when in university question when they ask about relational integrity constraint, you have to explain these three constraints: key constraint, entity integrity constraint, and referential integrity constraint. So key constraint is mainly focusing on the various keys that is existing in a relation. Okay, so first we can discuss about the key constraint. First we can start with the key constraint. So in key constraint we are going to see about two new keys that we have not seen till now. So such key that we are going to discuss today is, one is super key and another one is candidate key. Okay, and another one is, third one is primary key. Primary key we have already seen. Okay, so today mainly we are focusing on super key and candidate key. So what is a super key? So super key is nothing but it is a normal key. It is a normal key that can be used to uniquely identify a particular row or a particular tuple in a relation. Okay, so what is this key? How can we select this key? This selection of keys can be a single attribute or combination of attributes. Oh, okay, so this key can be either a single key, a single attribute, or a combination of attribute. So look here, look in this table, look at this table. This is a relation called student. Here they are storing the students of 10th standard. In 10th standard in the school, the 10th standard it is having two sections, section A and section B. Okay, 10A and 10B. So they are storing all the details of the students studying in that particular school, students studying in 10th standard of that particular school. So in 10th standard they are having two sections A and B. So look at here. So in that case the roll number cannot be considered as a key. Why? Because roll number 1 is existing for 10A as well as 10B. Look at here, roll number 1. In 10A roll number 1 is Akhil. In 10B roll number 1 is Ali. So we cannot rely on the roll number as a primary key. It cannot be used to uniquely identify a particular record. Okay, so when we call upon roll number 1, actually two people will be coming, Akhil and Ali. Also when we call upon roll number 2, Amal and Akhil, two people will be coming. So this roll number cannot be used to uniquely identify a particular record or a particular row. Okay, so in that case what will we do? In that case we will consider two attributes, combination of one or two attribute as a key. Okay, here we can keep roll number and name as a key. Okay, roll number and name can be considered as a key, or roll number name section can be considered as a key. Okay, so this combination of such attributes can be considered as a key. So such key is called a super key. Okay, it is a combination of one or more attributes which can be used to uniquely identify a tuple or a row in a relation is called a super key. Okay, so what are the possible combinations we can assume? What are the possible combinations? Okay, first of all, I have considered roll number and name as a super key, as a key or a super key. Yes, roll number and name can be considered, because in this particular relation instance of the table, roll number and name is not coming as a is not repeating. For example, there is no roll number 1 Akhil, there is no such value here, only roll number 1 Ali is there. Okay, so roll number name can be considered as a key. Another combination of key can be roll number name section. Okay, that will be a better key. Roll number name section. Roll number name section. 1 Akhil A. It is not repeating. It is 1 Ali B. No, it is not repeating. Okay. Roll number 2 Amal A. 2 Amal A. It is not repeating again. So roll number name section can be considered as another key. Okay. Now another combination of key can be roll number name section address. Okay, roll number name section address. Okay, sometimes there may be students. Sometimes there may be students with the same roll number, with the same name, but in different sections. In that case, we can consider roll number name section. Okay, in addition, for more security, we can assume this also, roll number name section address. Okay, so roll number name section address can be considered as another key. Now another key can be roll number name address. If you are not considering section, there may be students, student named Akhil, particular student named roll number 1 Akhil. Okay, consider this also is Akhil. In section B also roll number 1 is Akhil. In that case, we can identify these two Akhils by the address, by their address. One Akhil will be from Ernakulam, another Akhil will be from Trivandrum. So we can consider roll number name address as another super key. Okay, or we can consider roll number address as a super key. Okay, so I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 combination of super keys. Okay, so this is called super key. So super key is a collection of attributes, collection of attribute sets that can be used to uniquely identify a particular record. This roll number name can be used to identify a particular record. Similarly, roll number name section can also be used to identify a particular record. Roll number name section address can also be used to uniquely identify a particular record. This also can be used to uniquely identify a record. This also can be used to identify a record. Okay, I have identified only 5 super keys, but there are many super keys. Okay, there are many super keys that can be considered. Okay, so this is called super key. So super key set will not be a single one, it can be many. Here I have considered 5. Clear? So super key is nothing but combination of attributes, that can be set of combination of attributes that can be used to identify a particular record or a particular tuple. Okay, clear? Next we will talk about candidate key. What is candidate key? So super key, I think all are familiar with. Candidate key is actually, it is also called, it is defined as minimal super key. So what do you mean by minimal super key? Minimal super key means the super key that cannot be reducible further. Okay, I will just explain these two terms by looking at this example. Okay, The same example I have mentioned previously, the student relation. Then I have identified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 super keys I have identified. Okay, so from these 5 super keys, I can identify candidate key. I can derive candidate key. How I can identify candidate key? I can reduce. Consider. Look at this one. Roll number, name, section. I can reduce this super key. I can eliminate any one attribute from here, and we will check that one is a super key or not. Okay, now here I am going to eliminate section. If I am eliminating section, the remaining attributes are roll number, name. Is it a super key? Yes, it is a super key. Okay, so that can be a candidate key. Okay, so it is reducible. So this is reducible. Now another one, roll number, name, section, address. This roll number, name, section, address, I can remove this address. If I remove this attribute address, the rest of the attributes are roll number, name, section. It is a super key. Okay, so I have reduced further. Clear? Now look at here. This roll number, name. Roll number, name. How can is it possible to reduce? Is it possible to reduce? I am eliminating name. I am eliminating name. If I am eliminating name, is it a super key? If I am considering only the roll number, is it able to using the roll number alone? Will I be able to identify a particular record? No. Look at here. Roll number is repeating, so roll number cannot be used to identify a particular record. Now I am eliminating roll number. I am eliminating roll number. Now the key is name. Is it possible to identify the particular record using name, only the name? No, it is not possible. So this super key cannot be reducible. This super key cannot be reducible. So this is a candidate key. Okay, that is why it is called like that. The super key which cannot be reducible further is a candidate key. So this cannot be reducible further. So it is a candidate key. Look at here. What about this one? Roll number, address. Roll number, address. If I remove the roll address, if I remove the roll number, address, can I identify a particular record using address alone? No, address is repeating. There are 2 Ernakulam, 2 Trivandrum and 1 Thrissur. So address cannot be used to identify the particular record. Okay, suppose I am eliminating address. So I am having only roll number as the key. Am I able to identify the record using roll number alone? No, roll numbers are repeating. Okay, so this super key is not reducible. Okay, cannot be reducible further. So this is a candidate key. Okay, so what about this one? Roll number, name, address. Roll number, name, address. So I can remove address. I am removing address. It is still a super key. So this can be reducible. This also can be reducible. This also can be reducible. The super key that cannot be reducible is this one and this one. So this one and this one will be the candidate keys, or it is a minimal super key. Okay, so that is the term minimal super key. Minimal super key means it cannot be reduced further. It cannot be reduced further. Super keys which cannot be reduced further. If I reduce further and it is not being a key, then it is not a super key. Okay, it is not a candidate key. Clear? So it is a minimal candidate key means it is minimal super key. Super key which cannot be reducible further. Okay, next concept is a candidate key is a subset of super key set. Is it right? Yes, candidate key. This is a candidate key. Candidate key is a subset of the super key, right? So this is a super key. This is also a super key. Okay. So this roll number, name, it is a subset of the super key. This super key. This super key. Okay. This roll number, address. roll number address is the subset of this one and this one. So this a candidate key is a subset of super key, but vice versa it is not possible. Super key is not a subset of candidate key. Okay. So this is the next point. A candidate key is a subset of super key set. A candidate key can be a super key, but a super key cannot be a candidate key. Okay. So a candidate key can be a super key. See look at here, roll number name. This roll number name is a candidate key. It is also a super key. This is also a super key. Roll number address is a candidate key. This is also a super key. So candidate key can be super key, but super keys cannot be candidate key. This is a super key. This is a super key. This is not a candidate key. This is also a super key. It is not a candidate key. This is also a super key. It is also no, it is not a candidate key. Clear? So that is why it is written here. A candidate key can be a super key, but super key cannot be candidate key. Clear? Clear? So I think all are clear about the concept of candidate key. Candidate keys are nothing but it is a minimal super key. What is the term minimal? Minimal means which cannot be reducible further. That is called minimal. Okay. Don't confuse with the minimum. The term minimum. Minimum is different. Minimal means not reducible further. Clear? So such keys are called candidate keys. Clear? So we have talked about super key, candidate key, and next one is about primary key. So primary key means we have already taken two candidate keys. We have already taken two candidates key, roll number name and roll number address. So we can choose any one of this set as a primary key. The database designer will choose any one of this set as a primary key, either roll number name or roll number address. Clear? So such key is called the primary key. So database designer, while designing a database, will choose any of the candidate key to uniquely identify a record in a relation. So the database designer will choose any of the candidate key as any one of the candidate key as a set of any one of the candidate key as a primary key. Clear? So here we have two candidate keys, roll number name, roll number address. So we will choosing the database designer is choosing the first one as the candidate, the primary key. So any one set can be considered as the primary key. So here the primary key is this one, roll number and name. Okay. What about this one? If he is choosing this as the primary key, and this will be called as the alternate key. Suppose he is choosing this as the primary key, then this one is the alternate key. Okay, if we are having two candidate keys and the designer is choosing any one as the primary key, the other one is the alternate key. Okay, if he is having three candidate keys, the designer will choose any one as the primary key and the other two will be alternate keys. Clear? So this is the concept of primary key. So we have talked about super key, candidate key and primary key. Clear? Next is entity integrity. Next constraint we are going to discuss is entity integrity constraint. The key in constraint we have already completed. In that we have discussed about super key, candidate key and primary key. Okay. Next is the next integrity constraint is entity integrity constraint. That is what we are going to discuss. Entity integrity constraint. It states that no primary key value can be null. It is a very easy concept, which says that the primary, if we are considering a particular attribute as a primary key, attribute or a combination of attribute as a primary key, then that primary key must not be empty. Okay, suppose we are considering roll number as a primary key, we cannot keep the roll number as an empty value. There must be some value in the roll number field. Okay, that is the concept of entity integrity. Clear? So the entity integrity constraint states that no primary key value can be null. This is because the primary key value is used to identify individual tuple or tuple in a relation. So primary key is used to identify a particular relation, particular tuple or a particular tuple in a or particular row in a relation. Having a null value for the primary key implies that we cannot identify some tuples. If we are having null value in that primary key field, which means that will not be able to identify the record uniquely in a relation. Clear? So this is the concept of entity integrity constraint. So we have talked about the two constraints, key constraint, and the second one is entity integrity constraint. In key constraint we have talked about super key, candidate key and primary key. Okay. In entity integrity constraint we say that the primary key must not be empty. That is the concept. Okay. Next integrity constraint we are going to discuss is the referential integrity constraint. So we have already discussed about the key constraint as well as the entity integrity constraint. Okay, so the next one is the referential integrity constraint. So this referential integrity constraint is taking place between two relations. The key constraint as well as the entity integrity constraint is existing in the only happening within a single relation, but here referential integrity constraint is taking place between two relations. So it is used to specify a relationship among tuples in two relations. Okay, suppose we are having two relations. The first one is say student relation, okay, and the second one is course relationship, CR, course. So the student want to refer to this course relation. In that case, the student relation is called the referencing relation, and the relation which is being referred is called a referenced relation. Okay, so these are the new terms we are going to see, referencing relation and referenced relation. Clear? So I have already told that the referential integrity constraint is taking place only if the two relations are existing or two tables are existing. Relation means table. We are having two tables, student table and course table. So the student want to refer to the course table, course relation. In that case, the student table or the student relation is called the referencing relation, and the course table is called the referenced relation. Okay, so how can these two tables be referred? This can be referred only with the help of a particular key, and that key is called foreign key. That is what we are going to discuss now. Okay. So consider another table. Here this is employee table and this is department table. So in employee table we are having all these fields, first name, middle name, last name, security number, birth date, address, sex, salary, super security number and department number. So we are having another relation, department. Department name is having department name, department number, manager SSN, manager start date, all these things they are having. So here the employee table or the employee relation want to refer to the department relation. So how can we connect these two tables or how can we connect these two relations using a particular attribute? So look at here. So see, this D number is actually it is a primary key of this department table. Employee table is already having a primary called SSN. That is what it is underlined. Here the primary key is department number. Since the same department number is written here also. Okay, so this says that this table is referring to this department table using the primary key of this department table called a D number. So this key is called as the foreign key. Clear? So when only if there is a match between these two attributes, these tables can be connected. Look at here. Here the D numbers are 5, 4, 1. Here only 5, 4 and 1 is existing. Okay, only those tuples can be connected. So this means that this John Franklin John and Franklin is working in which department? He is working in research department. That is why it is given as the number 5. Okay. Now this Alicia Jennifer, he is working, these two people are working in the department administration. Okay. Similarly, James is working in the department headquarters. Ramesh and Joyce is working the department number 5. Department number 5 is research. Okay, so this is why this employee table, we say that this employee table is referring to this department table. Okay, so this is the best example. Attribute, so the example which is given, attribute D number, DNO of employee gives the department number for which each employee works. So this D number is nothing but the department number of the table department or relation department. Okay, hence its value in every employee tuple must match the D number value of some tuple of the department relation. So this value have to match with this one, only that that can be linked. Those tuples will be linked. Okay, only if the match is found, those tuples will be linked with this one. Okay, this is why so this key is called a foreign key. So foreign key is nothing but is a key that is used to connect, that is used to link with the primary key of the another relation. Clear? So foreign key is a key in a relation that is used to connect with the primary key of another relation. So such key is called a foreign key. Clear? So tuples in the referencing relation R1. Okay, so the tuples in the referencing relation R1 have the attribute foreign key. What is the referencing relation? So this employee is the referencing relation. Okay, the tuple in the referencing relation is having a key called foreign key. Okay, this is the key. That key is called foreign key. That reference the primary key attribute of the referenced relation R2. Okay, which is referring to the primary key of the referenced relation. Clear? So this is the foreign key and this is the primary key. Clear? So a foreign key, we are actually defining the definition of the foreign key. Foreign key is an attribute in a relation which refers to the primary key of another relation. So foreign key is an attribute in a relation that refers to the primary key of another relation. Clear? So this is called primary. This is called foreign key and primary key. Clear? So a referential integrity constraint can be displayed in a relational database schema. So this is called a relational schema. We have already told that in relational schema we will not be representing the value. We will be just representing the attributes. We will be representing only the attributes and the relation name. Clear? So this in the relational schema, how can we identify, how can we mention this referential integrity? This referential integrity can be displayed or mentioned using a directed line from the reference relation to the referencing relation to the referenced relation. So this is the referencing relation and this is the referenced relation. Okay, so D number is actually referring to, it is a foreign key, it is referring to the department number of the department relation. Okay. So the arrow will be given, or a directed line will be given from D number, DNO to department number. Okay, this is how we represent a foreign key or a referential integrity in a relational schema. Okay. Next example. Look at here. Example 1, example 2, student and course. So here roll number, name, age, address. Here it is having a course ID. So this course ID is actually a foreign key that is referring to the primary key of the table course. In primary key, what is the in course table, course relation, what is the primary key? Course ID. So this course ID in the student table, it is actually referring to the course ID in the course table, which is supposed to be the primary key. So this is called a foreign key. Okay. So why we are giving this? In order to connect these two tables or to relate these two tables. That means that roll number 1 is studying which course? He is studying operating system. CS 201 is operating system. Roll number 2 Akhil is studying which course? 203. 203 is COA. Roll number 3 Anu is studying CS 202. CS 202 is database. Now roll number 4 Ben is studying CS 201. 201 is operating system. Okay. So this is how we are connecting these two relations using a foreign key and a primary key. Okay. This can be represented in the relation schema like this. Okay. This is the referencing relation. This is the referenced relation. So student table, student relation is referring to the course relation using this foreign key and the primary key. Okay. We will be giving an arrow from the foreign key to the primary key of the next relation. Okay, so this is called a referential integrity. Okay, so in this today's topic we have discussed about three new keys. First one is super key, then candidate key, primary key we have already told, then about the foreign key. Okay, so these concepts are very important while designing a referential schema, relational schema. So in the next session we are going to study how we can convert a ER diagram or ER diagram into a relational schema. Clear? So before that you have to familiarize with all these things. What is a super key? What is a candidate key? Primary key? Foreign key? All those things. Okay. Thank you.